As you've probably seen by now, I cannot make normal YouTube videos. I always got to be overly artistic and make fancy sets and things. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to make a series of behind the scenes videos to show you how I do all this stuff. I always thought behind the scenes videos were more interesting anyway than the actual videos. So here we go. When Kara and I first met, all I had was a small little pocket camera and a tiny little camcorder. This one right here, Panasonic X900. I love this little thing so much I ended up buying 4 of them. Anyway, back then when we started, we were making recipe videos and YouTube was just starting too, and people were just having fun. It wasn't about having the sharpest anything or fanciest anything. It was just about having fun on YouTube. And me being me, you know, I can't be normal. So when we made a recipe video, I couldn't just have a normal recipe video. Kara had this travel nut recipe that was really good, these travel nuts she made. So I thought, travel, let's make an airplane set. So I built an airplane in my office. Yeah, I actually built an airplane. Kara played the stewardess and she prepared her recipe as a stewardess would in the galley.
So it's been 3 hours. We're about 40,000 feet somewhere over India, and it looks like our almonds are ready.
And it was just this fun video. I created the whole thing from scratch.
They blow any airplane nut away. They're so easy to make. It's 4 ingredients. I can make it on this airplane.
And we had a lot of fun making it. And it was a really fun video, and it was very well received. You can see it at stewardessrecipe.com. And the whole thing was filmed with this little tiny camcorder. Now you're going to say, why did you put all that effort into it if you're just going to film it with a little camcorder? I don't know. I wasn't really into impressing people with sharpness and all this. You know, it was all about having fun back then. And I think it should be fun. And I think it gave it a little bit more of a realistic edge. Like, oh, he just took a camcorder into an airplane. You know. Anyway, so we had a lot of fun with it. And I thought, well, let's do another one. And so then I thought, let's make a Disney fantasy storybook fairy tale Cinderella type thing.
There once were 2 sisters, one sweet and one mean. One wanted love, the other to be queen.
No! Stop! No! Stop! When the prince comes riding through here in a few hours, he will not see my peasant stepsister!
How can I get his attention? How can I let him know?
This was a big one. We spent a lot of time on that one. We spent 3 months working on that thing. And it was a big deal. We had a composer doing the soundtrack. I built all these sets of special effects, animation, CGI. And again, I used the same little camcorder. And I know you guys are pulling your hair out. Goes, man, Markus, you should have used that real sharp, high definition camera. Well, I didn't, because this was good enough for me. And that's what I want to show you this. I want to show you what I did with a camcorder and how I think you're really going to enjoy it all the much more because of that. I actually made this behind the scenes video you're about to see years ago, and I put it on the health channel, but nobody cared because all they care about is recipes and food and health stuff. And that made me kind of sad because I wanted people to really appreciate the amount of work that went into this thing. It was a 3-month project for a 5-minute video and all the lights and cameras and technical stuff. But anyway, that's what you guys are for. That's why I created the photography channel, because you guys love this stuff, right? And that's why I'm sharing this with you, and that's why I think you're going to really love this video, because we're all about the behind the scenes of how to make magic happen. And you can see the video at princessrecipe.com. But the most important thing of all is that over the 7 years this video has been out and the 100,000 people that have seen this video, not one person ever said it should have been sharper, you should have had more dynamic range. Everybody loved it. Everybody showed it to their kids and everybody was inspired by it, despite the fact that it was made with a camcorder. And that's my point. Don't be pressured. Don't be worried about not having the latest, greatest stuff, most expensive megapixel, whatever, everybody's saying out there. Use what you have. Make sure it's lit properly, expose it properly, make sure the white balance is good, and then just pour your heart out, make something that people love, have fun, because YouTube is supposed to be fun, okay? That's what it's all about. And I want you to be inspired by what I did with a little camcorder. Here's a sneak peek behind the scenes of how Kara and I made the princess recipe. The inspiration for the video started about a year ago at a costume store when Kara tried on a princess costume. Over the following months, she made me an amazing magical fruit tart for breakfast that tasted like nothing I've ever tasted before. Each one she made was a beautiful work of art. They were almost too beautiful to eat. They became downright addictive. What made this recipe even more amazing is that it doesn't even require electricity or any kind of kitchen device. All that's needed is some sunlight. It's so elegant, so amazing, so magical, it was a recipe right out of a storybook. I knew this was going to be a recipe video like nothing ever made. I started by building the wooden shed right here in my office, from cardboard. Just basic corrugated brown cardboard, the same stuff shipping boxes are made out of. The whole shed is made of nothing but cardboard that I painted to look like wood, all glued together with some hot glue. It was made so you could purposely see through the boards to see the forest outside, which was just a bunch of fake plants in front of a white paper backdrop. The sand on the floors is kitty litter. I can lift the whole thing with one hand. The castle interiors were filmed in real places around town, which Las Vegas has no problem supplying. It was funny how we walked around dressed like a prince and princess and nobody even blinked. We fit right in. Some odd miscellaneous shots were done in front of a green screen, which my computer has replaced with backgrounds I digitally created, like the shed exterior in the woods. I create most of my shots from scratch, like this exterior shot, which started with just a still photo of some woods. I added a shed and then breathed life into the whole thing by adding some moving bushes, trees, and grass. I wanted each shot to be as beautiful and magical as possible, just like a real storybook. I even hot glued many of the costumes together to make them like I picture them in my mind. We considered many options for the peasant girl outfit before deciding on the final combination.
It felt so amazing to be a princess. I never went to prom, and now I feel satisfied. I feel at peace about it. It was just really cool being a princess.
I think it's something every girl at some point wants to experience somehow.
The experience wouldn't have been complete if I wouldn't have had a Prince Charming there. That was like the icing on the cake.
And we got to play the good and the bad characters. It was fun.
Listen here, my pretty. I'm going to get you.
I bought part ownership in a horse. I couldn't afford the whole thing, so I just bought the neck. You know, it's all that's all I could afford.
It was super fun.
Well, magical animated birds, show me the way!
It's the final product. I'm sure it's going to be well worth all the...
I even made the stool from scratch out of cardboard because I wanted it to look just like I pictured it in my mind. I'm really happy with how this thing turned out, too. I digitally made the floor in our living room look bigger, and I even created several different versions of a shed in a forest so I could pick the best one. And for those of you who don't know much about animation, it takes 30 individual drawings for every second of film. That's a lot of drawing. We worked with a great Broadway composer, Jimmy Lockett, whose lyrics and orchestration helped make this the magical storybook fantasy that it is.
What can I do? We had to practice singing every day, but it was super fun.
There isn't much to tell.
You just had a good time.
Yeah, there you go.
It's magic everywhere.
And putting all of this together is a monumental undertaking that took over 3 months, working night and day. I had 10 computer processors working around the clock. I filled up over 20 editing tracks of audio and video in the editing system and worked over 1,000 hours in post-production, utilizing 3D CGI programs, compositing programs, audio editing programs, video editing programs, and 2D layer software, all working together like a great symphony to help create a magical experience.
Oh, the work was exhausting.
3 months of painstaking work to create 3.5 minutes of video that people can see online for free, and it's not even selling anything.
It took a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
Sometimes you just have to create something from your heart, something that touches people's lives and inspires them to be healthier, happier, and remember what it's like to believe in magic.